Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you guys can see, this is a different setup than my normal video. Previous videos I did in my living room and bedroom back in Boston, and currently I have to travel back to see my boyfriend in New Jersey, so it's a different setup. But in a nutshell, I feel like everybody I hope that everybody had a good weekend and the upcoming getting prepared for the upcoming week. I like to do Sunday like a reflection, because I think YouTube channel really helped me to start journaling through video recording in a more consistent basis. So I want to get my word out, and I also want to share with you guys a lot of my mindset and how I think of certain things that helped me regulate my emotions. And today I do want to talk about emotion stability or emotion management, because in the past I'm that type of person who kind of act really like chaotic. I have a chaotic energy, means that some people can see me cry and that second I start laughing. That type of we're talking about that type of chaotic emotional expression. And currently I spend past year I spent a year working on my emotional management, and it's been working pretty well, even though right now I still have to work on a lot of things. But the way I work on my emotion is to get clarity, and also a positive self-talk or just self-talk in general, to rationalize a lot of things. That's what we do. But today I do want to share you one chapter from emotional management. It is called the attitude of the outlook of life, of not giving too much fuck about life, or just in general don't care or care less to the point that it served you. So a lot of my friends actually say I am nonchalant, even though I'm really sweet. I think it's just the way I think is by default a bit nonchalant, that sometimes came out to be really cold when I hang out with people. It doesn't mean that I always don't really care. It's because I know that at the end of the day I have a certain mindset, I have certain idea I'm going to share with you in this video, and why it's really important to think about this in certain times. And without further ado, let's just jump right into it, and I start letting you guys know my secret that helps me to become, I guess, having a better emotion management most of the time. Okay, first, your happiness is totally your responsibility, and I did not stutter when I said that. The ultimate goal is not really give a fuck or not. The ultimate goal is for you is to have a healthy emotion, healthy mentality, and your happiness is definitely within your control. A lot of people, when they say they start having an emotional like tantrum, they start throwing tantrum, they start feeling just like out of their control, they say, oh, I just couldn't help it, or they do something really stupid, or they do things that is not necessarily benefiting them, and they start to blame the external factors. But at the end of the day, you are a person of free will. You need to train yourself to think in the way that your happiness is your responsibility. Be accountable for your happiness, and that's something nobody can steal away from you. But in order to do that, you need to first acknowledge that your happiness is your responsibility, and not laying it in the hand of the other people. Because if you think about the other people control your happiness, or you always think in the victim mentality, like, why does this happen to me? Why does this person did certain things to me? Then you are kind of giving you away your power to think, oh, you know, this person did something to me, but it's my own, like how I respond to the situation is under my control. So, you know, a lot of things, bad things happen to us, but as I was mentioning like 10 seconds on, we have the total control of how we react to it and how we move on from it. That's a lot of lesson I've learned, because in the past I always think that in a really negative mindset, I always complain about things that happen to me and I can't. Like, I go on and on thinking about bad things. It's okay that you can think about bad things one time, but when you keep on compounding, like you're snowboarding it, at the end of the day, you just a really sad bitch complaining about life, and that is just nobody want that. So your happiness is definitely your responsibility, and whenever you're in that mindset, you know that nobody on this earth it's their duty to make you happy. So you're the person who can only save you, right? If you don't want to save, nobody can save you. So do things that really make you happy, acknowledge things that makes you happy. So I can I give you guys some example. For me, it's always reading is therapeutic. I call it therapeutic because it is. Cleaning and cooking is, so that's something that make me happy. So whenever you are in the headspace, in the heat of moment, try to redirect your energy or focus on doing something that makes you happy or calm you down. So, you know, a lot of people, when they got into a situation when they just like, they're just super mad, practice breathing and also redirect your attention to, for example, if you like reading, if you like going out and hiking, do that. You are totally able to make a choice to get off that black hole and start doing something that, you know, will put you in the headspace of thinking more positively. Second, I want to bring up the point of why you shouldn't care about what other people have to say, and why you shouldn't care that they should judge you, because everybody judge. In nowadays, with social media, with news of negativity, it's pretty much a selling point. So everybody like to talk about things, and everybody like to have their opinion to it. So everybody are entitled to their opinions, but that's because opinions are the cheapest thing you can have from people, because people always talk. So you shouldn't feel bad, because if, you know, at the end of the day, there's people who's going to love you, there's people who's going to judge you no matter what you do. And my philosophy is, if the person is not feeding you, they're not fucking with you, their viewpoint or their judgment shouldn't affect you at all. So let's talk about the first F. The first F is whoever is feeding you, your parents. If your parents are still paying for your tuition, still affording your lifestyle, right now I'm addressing all the students who potentially are still living under the parents' financial funding. You're not financially free. With that being said, if the people are paying for your lifestyle, they have a say in your actions, they have a say in your decisions. So take me for example, when I was working and I was paying for myself, I didn't really care what my parents think about me spending money on going to a trip, because I was paying for myself. But then when I come back to school, and they're still paying for big part of it, I have to study hard to get the A, because my parents are paying for it. So don't catch attitude for people who are actually affording your lifestyle, because that just don't make sense, and you just sounds like an entitled bitch. I'm so sorry, I got a little bit, because I used to be like that. So knowing that and moving forward from it really helps me to understand that if your parents are paying for anything, they have a say in anything that you do, and it is what it is. Try to be independent after that. But if somebody is funking with you, that's the second F. Meaning the people who actually rock with you for real. Meaning that the people who are actually trying to see, they probably got a bigger picture, and they are trying to helping you in certain ways, even though what they say can be, something you cannot swallow. But it also comes from you having a big ego of not taking people's opinions or suggestions. If they really prove that they're loyal friends in your life, And sometimes they just say things that it's just not like a music to your ear. You should still care about it just because they are the real people who are open to give you suggestions to make you feel better. Because a lot of time I'm really open-minded to what my friends talk about when it comes to video as well. A lot of my friends said don't make like long videos because people really don't care after some points, which I understand. So yeah, like that. And other than these two categories, honestly, you shouldn't care about what people judge about you. As a social influencer myself on Instagram, I always get a lot of hate comments and I just laugh at it. A lot of people are just like, why would you, like, how did you do this? Like, how did you just kind of like brush it off like that? I will talk about a deeper reasons why right now, like, I am shaped like by default in my head. Like, I think people's attack on me are entertaining. First is because people, whoever is judging you or throwing negative comments at you, they already in a really negative headspace when they're doing that. So I actually feel sorry for them. That's actually what I felt. So when people are saying I receive like messages like, oh, you're so unintelligent, just shut up, nobody have to hear it. I just brush it off. If it's like really constructive opinion or suggestion for me, I'll definitely take it to more serious account. But people throwing negative comments, at the end of the day, I think it's just the person being negative for them for their life. So yeah. And third, it's that you're just going to die anyways. That's the only fact about life, and that's the only thing that remain unchanged and predictable. So everything in life is going to be unpredictable, except your own death. So why not just live in a life and mentality that you don't have to care about what other people have to say? Because if people really care, they will say in your face, and if it's really for your own sake, they're helping you to come up with a framework how to improve on it. Because most of the time people only complain, people only talk negative, but people don't know how to get out of it and start moving forward. And that's a kind of problem solving mindset now a lot of people are really good at. And let's just be honest, complaining and being negative is always the easy way to go instead of focus on the better or the positive outlook in life. So if you are the person who's trying to make an effort to not care, that's the first thing you need to know. A lot of people are just not problem solving, and by stuck in a judgmental headspace, it's not really helping or benefiting for both parties. So the fourth thing is spending energy on people who drains you is the most caustic things that you can do to your life. And I did not stutter again. I want to speak on that again. Spending energy on people who drains it, and spend or be stuck in the headspace when you have to care so much to the point it's draining. It's the costly thing you can do. Like, it's literally more expensive than spending money, than the most expensive thing in the world. At that point, it's become a liability to the point it's getting things from you. It's something coming out of you, but it's not helping you to move forward. That's actually a really good quote, just because a lot of time we didn't know that emotional draining it's a thing, because we can make the conscious choice to associate ourselves with people who can make us happier, but we also make the conscious choice to spend energy with people who are not. But if you're doing that, you consciously make the choice, and it's very costly because people don't deserve it. People like that don't deserve your time. People who judge you don't deserve your time. They don't deserve your past, your present, and your future. And it is what it is. And the next point is, I really like this because a lot of people say, why don't you care? Why don't you give a fuck? And it's because I don't get too hyped up by people's encouragement or compliments. And it's a very interesting concept when you are so calm with people's compliments or people's woohoo, that's saying woohoo, like you're dope, you're this and that. If you don't get hyped up by this too often, then you don't get, dragged down by the booze, by the, the attacked and the negative comments, because at that point you develop a mental stability when you don't influence by emotion or negative or any kind of things. It's has polarized energies in it, because when you are hyped up by people's compliment, that means that you can also get super triggered by people's attacks. So what I tell people in their 20s to develop a mental stability really means that, when people compliment you, think that you did a good job on your accomplishment. You take the compliments, but internally you said that that's not enough. It's really appreciative that people say that you done a good job, but you should always know that you should be proud, and you should only stop when you're proud. So don't get complacent, and at the same time don't get discouraged. So that's a high space that was talking about in the earlier. Whenever you can achieve not by influenced by people's compliments, then you detach yourself from the naysayers, the haters, and that is a type of detachment you want to form. Actually, this is a better title. I feel like it's not ultimate secret of not giving a fuck. It's better to say the art of detachment, because it is a detachment, but at the end of the day, I'm not trying to say you should form a coldness or nonchalant attitude to everything you do, but I'm trying to frame it in a way that you detach from things that is potentially emotionally energy draining for you. But yeah, this is pretty much today's content. I really enjoyed just talking about certain life lessons and kind of condense them into like short sentences that people can understand better. And I hope I got my point across with these episodes, because the art of detachment, or whatever you say, the secret of not really giving too much care, it's that you're not being nonchalant. It's just you. Oh, sorry, I heard somebody was like knocking at the door. But the ultimate goal is to make sure that you're doing things that is helping you, and you always know how to detach from things that is draining you. And a lot of people say you shouldn't always feel happy, but I don't think you should mentally always go through things that drains you. So in order to say protect your energy, I think this is always not protect your energy or retreating, rather than entering a space when you can be 100 and all in with your energy, but not feel like it's leaking, it's not like dragging, it's not draining. So it's not retreating, it's not like you have to always holding back from, be all in with your energy, to not be your authentic self, but to actually switch places or associate with people or groups or situation that makes you feel that you shine the brightest and you're able to communicate and show your true colors. But yeah, that's today's episode. I just realized I wasn't really smiling a lot, and I'm giving you guys a really big smile. Hope that you guys liked today's episode, and let me know what I can improve on my videos. Try to do different editing right now, but new video coming up, and hope you guys like it. And everybody have a good night and happy Sunday.